The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Welcome everybody to tonight's City Council meeting, a regular meeting for Monday, September 22nd. Everybody is here tonight. We're excited to move forward. We have a busy agenda. We've got a Communathon proclamation, a library board appointment, some fuel to buy. We got lots to do, so we're going to get straight to it, and we'll hopefully be expeditious. Here we go. So first off, I would look for a motion to approve the minutes of the September 8th meetings.
Your Worship, I move that we have the minutes to the regular council meeting and strategic planning and priorities meeting held on September 8th, 2025 to be approved.
And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any errors, omissions, any commentary on those minutes? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, additions to the agenda. Administration?
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. There's no additions from administration tonight.
Okay, council? Hearing none, we'll go ahead. We have no public hearings or notices tonight. We do have, however, a proclamation tonight. So we are going to do that straight away. I'll read it first and then do a signing. That's the right? Yes, right. Here we go. Whereas the Weyburn Communathon has helped local community agencies in Weyburn and the surrounding area for over 40 years by raising funds and awareness leading up to and during an annual live televised event during which performers from the area showcase their talent. This event has become a tradition in Weyburn. It's driven by passionate volunteers from our community, support from local businesses, and assistance from the representatives of the community agencies being supported. The Weyburn Communathon is proud to be hosting Fall in Love with Communathon, featuring the theme, Communathon is Coming Home this year. And whereas this year's Communathon will help support Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Weyburn, Canadian Mental Health Association, the CNIB Foundation, Envision Counseling and Support, Inclusion Weyburn, Southeast Advocates, and the Weyburn Caravan. And whereas the majority of funds that are raised by the Communathon will stay in our community by supporting our community agencies, which then invest those funds into their programs and services. Therefore, I, Jeff Richards, Mayor of the City of Weyburn, do hereby proclaim October 2025 on the occasion of the 44th Communathon as Communathon Month.
Good evening, Your Worship, members of council, and members of our community. I'm Lindsay Mankobosh, Weyburn Communathon Chair. This year, Communathon is more than just a fundraiser. It's a homecoming. For 44 years, Communathon has been connected to the United Way. 38 of those years as Weyburn United Way, and more recently, under the banner of United Way Regina. That partnership helped us grow, helped us support vital programs, and helped us build a tradition that has touched countless lives in our community. But as United Way shifts in a different strategic direction, it became clear to our committee that it's time for us to chart our own path. One that reflects the unique spirit of Weyburn. Today, we are stepping into a new chapter, a chapter that belongs fully to this community as the Weyburn Communathon Foundation Incorporated. We like to say that Communathon is evolving, not dissolving, and that's exactly what's happening. We're not disappearing, we're becoming stronger, more local, and more connected to the people and 7-member agencies that matter right here in Weyburn. We're in the process of forming our own not-for-profit foundation. Our business license is already secured, thanks to Shook Law Firm, and our charitable status with the CRA is in progress. This is an exciting transformation, but as with any big change, there will be details to work through. So we ask for your patience and your support as we make this shift for Weyburn and by Weyburn. Until we secure our charitable number with the Canadian Revenue Agency, we will be providing business receipts to our supporters. Every performance, every volunteer hour, and every dollar raised stays right here in our community, supporting our neighbors, friends, and families. And so as we celebrate this homecoming, we also celebrate new beginnings. And on behalf of Communithon, I am proud the City of Weyburn has proclaimed the month of October as Communithon Month. And on October 24th and 25th, Communithon is coming home. Thank you very much.
That's good that part wasn't on camera maybe anyways. Great. You know what, that Communithon, I don't know, I probably started with it sometime after 44 years, but it's got to have been 30 years been doing that as a very cool event. Something Weyburn can be proud of. Okay, let's keep going. Reports of standing committees. This is an opportunity for councillors to bring back brief reports from any of the committees that we serve on. Councillor Sidlowski.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. We still have our application for Youth Council open until the end of the month, so we would love to have a few more applicants. And my last update is that our Arts Council met for the first time since summer, and we have completed, they completed 2 murals throughout the summer. So they've been hard at work trying to brighten up the community. Just wanted to say thank you to them.
Thank you. If somebody was interested in the Youth Council, that would find that on the city website, right?
Yes, that's right. It's on the application forms on the city website.
Very good. Thank you. Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Weyburn Library Board has met since the first time since the summer as well, and just wanting to put out a save the date. The fall book sale is going to be November the 13th, 14th, and 15th. With donations, you can start bringing those down anytime after the 3rd of November. And if you want to come and volunteer, they always could use more people. So you can head on down to the library and sign up for a shift.
Any other councillors? Hearing none, we'll keep going. Thank you, by the way. We'll move on to the consent agenda. 2 things on there, the cash activity report for August, public works report for August. Would look for a motion to get those on the floor, please.
Your Worship, I'd move that the following items on the consent agenda be approved: the cash activity report for August and the public works report for August.
Thank you. A seconder?
Your Worship, I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Okay, any commentary on those 2 items? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Those reports, as with all the time, all of the stuff that we do here tonight is available on the City of Weyburn website. All right. Next up, it is a library board appointment, and the city manager, if you will walk us through that one, please.
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. Mayor and/or council of the City of Weyburn establish committees, commissions, and boards, and appoint members of council or citizens to members of those bodies. So the Weyburn Public Library Board has passed a motion to recommend that Danielle Kivitz to the board for the remainder of 2025. So I am making a recommendation to council to have Danielle Kivitz added to the Weyburn Public Library Board.
Thank you. All right, can we get a motion to get this on the floor?
Your worship, I'm more than happy to make the motion that council appoint Danielle Kivitz to the Weyburn Public Library Board for the remainder of 2025.
Thank you.
Your worship, I would second that motion.
Thank you. Okay, any questions or comments on this? Pretty straightforward. Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And thank you, Danielle, for your service going forward. We look forward to that. Next up, an expression of interest on the Urban Highway Connector Program. Director of Engineering Cugnet, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. So the Urban Highway Connector Program promotes safe and efficient movement of people and goods through Saskatchewan cities. It also provides an open and consistent framework to support the municipal management of urban highway connectors. These connectors are roadways connecting highways through the cities. Saskatchewan has 12 small to medium-sized cities that control urban highway connectors within the urban city limit boundaries in the city's jurisdiction under provincial legislation. The Ministry of Highways has several project selection and prioritization processes, which are informed by project intakes from relevant stakeholders. For the Urban Highway Connector Program, this process involves inviting project applications, referred to as an expression of interest, or EOI, from the 12 small to medium-sized cities in Saskatchewan. Any funding granted under the UHCP will be driven by the provincial budget process and compete with the ministry's priorities. In August of 2025, the Ministry of Highways formally invited the City of Weyburn to apply for the 2025 and 26 Expression of Interest intake for the UHCP. The City of Weyburn Engineering Department has identified one priority project for the UHCP EOI. This project includes the rehabilitation of Government Road, Highway 35, from Cotto Avenue to 10th Avenue South. The rehabilitation would involve a full structural rebuild at the intersection of Government Road and Souris Avenue. The work north of the intersection to Cotto Ave, south of the intersection to Railway Ave, and the portion south of Highway 39, from 1st Ave South to 10th Ave South, would involve removing the existing asphalt surface and repaving. Government Road is part of our truck route, carrying a lot of heavy truck traffic and is currently demonstrating significant surface damage. Aside from the recent resurfacing of the Government Road Bridge this year, there has not been any major work done in this project area over the last 10 years. The city completes annual pothole patching on Government Road. However, the potholes and rutting in the driving paths are becoming extensive and challenging to repair. This section of Government Road is a provincial interest level 3 in terms of our UHCP agreement and would be eligible to receive up to 70% funding from the Government of Saskatchewan. Below, in Figure 1, is showing project area north of Highway 39 between Cotto Ave and Railway Ave. Figure 2 is showing the project area south of Highway 39 between 1st Ave South and 10th Ave South. In order to move the expression of interest, the Government of Saskatchewan requires a resolution stating City Council agrees to meet legislated standards to meet the terms and conditions of the UHCP program, to conduct an open tendering process, to manage the construction of the project, to fund the municipal share of the project, to fund ongoing operation and maintenance costs, and to follow any mitigation measures as required by the Federal Impact Assessment Act and the Environmental Assessment Act. I recommend that Weyburn City Council provide the Province of Saskatchewan with the required resolution for the UHCP expression of interest for the rehabilitation of Government Road as described.
Thank you very much. Can we get a motion to get this started, please?
Your worship, I would move that council provide the province of Saskatchewan with the required resolution for the UHCP expression of interest for the rehabilitation of Government Road as described.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, questions or comments on this item? Councillor Bador?
Just wondering what the timeline is usually for these in the past, when we get to know when we win or not.
So the timeline, it does vary depending on the process for their budget allocations. I have been told that we will hear back next year, after their fiscal year, so after March 2026. And we will either hear back that we will be awarded funding or not, and if we will be awarded funding, an estimated timeline or budget year that they will provide the funding. So it's not necessarily meaning that we will, if we get funding, it'll happen in the 2026-27 year. So that's it. Yeah.
Good. Councillor Corrigan?
Thank you. That was my question
your
also,
question.
Your Worship, as to whether this would be included in the provincial upcoming budget or not.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right, then we're looking for, to provide the motion. So the motion's on the floor. That's it. We'll call the question, then all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Fingers crossed. Okay. Next up, we will stay with the Director of Engineering as we go through drainage clearing contract.
Okay. The City of Weyburn has allocated $50,000 for drainage maintenance in 2025 from the Public Works General Operating Budget. The 2025 drainage channel clearing RFP consisted of 6 different locations around the city to clean out silt, debris, and vegetation from the drainage channels to allow stormwater to free flowly and prevent water from holding in the channels after storm events. On August 15th, 2025, a request for proposal for the 2025 drainage channel cleaning was posted on the city's online bidding portal, Bids and Tenders, SAS Tenders, and the city's website. Proposals were to be received by the City of Weyburn by September 10th, 2025 at 1 p.m. A total of 3 bids were received and are summarized below, including PST. All proposals submitted were evaluated with a weighted score on the selection criteria consisting of proposed fees at 45%, understanding of the project and ability to provide the services at 30%, and similar drainage project experience at 15%, and schedule for project delivery at 10%. Day Enterprises bid falls within the allotted budget and has completed satisfactory work for the City of Weyburn in 2024. It is recommended that the 2025 drainage channel cleaning projects be awarded to Day Enterprises for their bid for a total of $40,836,000.50, including PST.
Thank you. All right, is there a motion?
Your Worship, I move that the 2025 drainage channel cleaning projects be awarded to Day Enterprises at a bid of total of $40,836.50, including PST.
Thank you. Seconder.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Okay, questions for the Director of Engineering? Nope. Hearing none, then we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. And one more for the Director of Engineering. This is our fuel tank and supplies.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. The City of Weyburn bulk fuel supply contract is up for renewal, and the bulk fuel supply tanks at the Public Works Yard have reached end of life and need to be replaced. As a result, the city is seeking bids for the following 2 parts. Part 1, the supply and delivery to the Public Works Yard of 2 8,499-liter fuel tanks. Part 2, the bulk fuel supply for Public Works and the airport, including clear diesel, regular unleaded gasoline, aviation gas, and jet fuel, for a 3-year contract term with an option to extend. On August 28th, 2025, a request for proposal was posted on the city's online bidding portal, Bids and Tenders, SAS Tenders, and the city's website. Proposals were to be received by the City of Weyburn by September 12th, 2025 at 1 p.m. A total of 4 proposals were received with varying options and split into 2 parts. Part 1, tank bids, are shown below. As you can see, there's asterisks beside the tank price for a 3-year contract for TR Petroleum and 2 beside DMM Energy as they bid 0 free tanks over a 5-year term. TR bid for over a 3-year term. And the other ones, the price is the same regardless. Part two is the fuel bids, broken down below. UFA did not bid on aviation gas or jet fuel. The bid summary is showing the total net fuel price as well as the tank bids on the bottom. Again, you can see that we have a 5-year term and a 3-year term that was bid for $0 for the tank supply. Although they were proposing free tanks, it was a loan system, so it would only be for the duration of the contract. All proposals submitted were evaluated with a weighted score on the selection criteria consisting of schedule for 25%, price adjustment policy 25%, and cost at 50%. Ultimately, the evaluation came down to cost, as all vendors submitted sufficient price adjustment policies and comparable schedules for the tank delivery. There were several options to consider and analyze for the value associated with each option. TR Petroleum and DMM Energy proposed a conditional offer to loan the fuel tanks to the city at no cost for the duration of the bulk fuel supply contract term, but would result with the city having to procure tanks at the end of the term, essentially postponing that initial capital cost. Even with DMM Energy's conditional tank offer, the overall price difference between Prairie Sky Co-op and DMM Energy spread over the contract term was about $1,800 per year. And with the past satisfactory service received from Prairie Sky Co-op, they received the highest rank in the evaluation. As a side note, the airport fuel is not a direct city expense at the airport, as the airport is equipped with customer card lock payment system. Therefore, the airport fuel prices were not included in that cost difference calculation of $1,800 per year. It is recommended that the Public Works fuel tanks and all the city bulk fuel supply be awarded to Prairie Sky Co-op for a 3-year contract term.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's get a motion on the floor first.
Your worship, I'd like to make a motion that the Public Works fuel tanks and all the city bulk fuel supply be awarded to Prairie Sky Co-op for a 3-year contract term.
Thank you.
Your worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you. All right, questions for the Director of Engineering?
I didn't see lubricants on there. Is that a separate tender, or is this?
Yep, so lubricants aren't included in this tender, as we have multiple suppliers, and through our new inventory system over at Public Works, we check prices daily, and we are always kind of changing depending on price adjustments and availability and delivery time. So, yep.
Thanks. Any other questions? No? Hearing none, then we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. All right, so we've got a bylaw to do. This is a zoning bylaw and an amendment to the OCP, so we will look to the Director of Planning and Development, please.
Thank you. A bylaw amendment application and corresponding official community plan amendment application has been submitted by Keith Epp of Travel and RV. The amendment is to change the zoning of the southern and western portions of 921 Government Road Southwest from Parks and Open Space and Urban Holding to Highway Commercial, as well as the parcel identified as 7th Avenue Southwest from Urban Holding to Highway Commercial. The properties are privately owned, and it became a condition of the sale identified after a zoning memo request. If council gives first reading at this meeting, public notices will be sent out in accordance with the city's public notice policy for the public hearing to occur on October 14th, 2025 at the regular council meeting. Notices will be advertised in the September 24, 2025 and October 1st, 2025 editions of the Weyburn Review, posted at City Hall and on the city website. The proposal is for Travel and RV to allow the continued expansion of their business on all 3 of their properties they purchased. Based on their property's current zoning, their business can only operate on 805 Government Road Southwest and a portion of 921 Government Road Southwest. The OCP and zoning amendments are required to facilitate both developments, as the subject properties currently zoned Parks and Open Space and Urban Holding, which limits commercial development. So these are the properties. The properties are currently designated as Parks and Open Space and Urban Holding, as well as Highway Commercial. The applicant is requesting that all lands be designated highway commercial on the land use designation map of the OCP. The purpose of this designation is to provide highway commercial lands to businesses that require high levels of accessibility and are located adjacent to major highways through the city. The properties are currently zoned Parks and Open Space and Urban Holding, as well as highway commercial. The applicant has requested that the lands be rezoned to highway commercial, which will allow for the expansion of their business, categorized as mobile home sales and service under the permitted use of the zone. So identified there on the table. So if council gives first reading to bylaw 2025-3502 and bylaw 2025-3503 at this meeting, then administration will bring the bylaws forward to the next District Planning Commission meeting for input. The official community plan amendments must be approved by the Minister of Government Relations after final reading of bylaw 2025-3503. It will be submitted to the province for ministerial approval. Both bylaws will take effect upon ministerial approval. So council options. Option 1, council gives first reading to bylaw 2025-3503, being a bylaw to amend the official community plan to designate the above-mentioned lands as highway commercial on the future land use and land use designation maps. Council gives first reading to bylaw 2025-3502, being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw to rezone the above-mentioned lands from Parks and Open Space and Urban Holding to highway commercial. Council directs administration to advertise bylaw 2025-3502 and 2025-3503 as per the public notice policy. Option 2, council refused to give first reading to bylaws 2025-3502 and 2025-3503 and direct administration to advise the applicant of the refusal based on the following reasons. Any officer making a motion for any officer making a motion for refusal shall provide the reasons for the refusal. Staff recommendation, option 1, that council gives first reading to both bylaws 2025-3502 and bylaw 2025-3503 to amend the official community plan and zoning bylaw as mentioned above.
Thank you, Director Malcolm. That was a mouthful. Appreciate you getting through all that. That's a lot. First, let's get a motion for this one. So this is first reading of bylaw 2025-3503. Okay.
My motion says the council gives first reading to bylaw 2025-3503, a bylaw to amend bylaw 2020-3411, being the official community plan.
A seconder, please.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Great, thank you. Okay, questions on this or clarity? Does anybody need further information? Councillor Corrigan?
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to be clear, all the other properties of travel land is commercial highway. It's highway commercial, is that how it's designated?
Yeah, so if we go back to the map, they have 3 properties. So that middle piece, 805, that's the only property that is fully zoned highway commercial. The ones north of that, which would be the 7th Avenue, that's Urban Holding. And the one south of that, which is a larger parcel, is zoned highway commercial, Parks and Open Space, and Urban Holding.
But the one even south of the largest
The
piece of
largest
property,
one.
that's highway commercial also?
A portion of it. So the largest parcel has 3 zones on it right now.
Okay.
So Parks and Open Space, Urban Holding, and highway commercial.
And they're trying to consolidate all of them into one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the way that I was reading it was that those 3 smaller ones
No,
were being changed to highway commercial?
No, yeah.
Okay, but this is consolidating them all
Yes.
to highway commercial then?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Janke?
Just for clarity, we're voting on first reading to change the official community plan here and not for the rezoning? Is that what we're doing right now?
That is how the motion read. Is that all we're doing, Charlie? No, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have to do the first reading now, and then we do our advertisements, and so the next time we meet, which would be October 14th, then we do second and third reading.
So we have two things we need to do, though. We need to change our zoning, and we need to amend the OCP.
Correct.
Is there a separate because this motion was for the OCP. You've got the bylaw one. Okay. Does that help? That's what you're looking for? Okay, so this, we have to do both things. I understand that, but they are two separate things, right? It is my understanding. So did I do the motions for that? Yes, we did. I just want to be sure. Sorry, I'm getting lost in this one too. And we have reached out to the District Planning Commission because this would fall within that boundary, and they expressed no concerns with this change as well.
Correct.
Right. Okay. If that's that, then I'll call the question on the official community plan. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So then next up is the zoning bylaw.
Your Worship, I'd like to move the council gives a first reading to bylaw 2025-3502, a bylaw to amend 2020-3502, being the zoning bylaw.
Thanks. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. So any further conversation? I think we beat that one to death last time as I figured it out. If there's nothing, we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So the notices will be published, and this will come back to the October 14th council meeting for second and third reading.
Yes.
Good. Thanks so much. But wait, you're still up. Next, under new business, so we have no unfinished business. Under new business, the first item is a sign application. So we would get Charlie Malcolm to walk us through that one as well, please.
All right. So an application has been received from Mr. Mark Hadley for the installation of a wall sign at 163rd Street Northeast. The sign will be a standard non-LED single-sided sign placed on the face of the building known as the Old City Hall. The submitted application from Mark Hadley is for the placement of a standard non-LED wall sign on the lower right portion of the front of the Old City Hall building, legally described as Block 12, Lot 11, 12, 13, Plan 31899. The sign will be 1 meter wide, which is about 3.2 feet, and 1.2 meter long, which is about 3.9 feet, and have a surface area of 1.2 square meters or 12.9 square feet. So that's just an image showing where the sign is supposed to be. The Old City Hall is a municipally designated heritage property, and as such requires approval from council prior to the issuance of a permit. Heritage buildings are an important part of the community's identity, reflecting the city's history, culture, and architectural character. Protecting and maintaining heritage properties not only safeguards historical value, but also enhances community pride, support tourism, and encourages their investment, especially in the downtown core of the city. Mounting signs on a heritage building carries important implications, as improper installation can damage historic material, obscure architectural features, or compromise the structural integrity of the facade. To mitigate potential destruction, careful consideration should be given to both the size and placement of the signage to ensure it does not detract from or conceal character-defining elements. So option 1, council approves the application 2025.003 for the placement of a wall sign on the front surface of the Old City Hall building at 1630 3rd Street Northeast without further conditions. Option 2, council approves application 2025.003 for the placement of a wall sign on the front surface of the Old City Hall building at 1630 3rd Street with the following conditions. The permitted surface area of a wall sign shall be limited only by the size of the wall itself. There should be a minimum clearance between the bottom of the sign and the ground or sidewalk of 2.5 meters, which is about 8.2 feet. Durable lightweight material should be used to minimize stress on the structure with finishes that complement the building's historic character. The sign must be installed using non-invasive methods, such as anchored to the mortar joints rather than directly to the brick, or attached to an existing bracket so that it can be removed without permanently damaging the structure. Option 3, council directs the development officer to refuse a wall sign application 2025.003 for the following reasons. The officer making the motion for refusal should provide reasons for the permit's refusal in their motion. Staff recommendation. Staff is recommending option 2, as although the property is a designated municipal heritage building, the conditions listed in the option, once followed, should minimize or alleviate any structural damage.
Thank you. Okay, a motion, please.
Your worship, I would move that council approve option 2, as although the property is a designated municipal heritage building, the conditions listed, once followed, should minimize and alleviate any structural damage.
Thank you. We get a seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you. So questions for the director or coordinator of planning and development? Councilor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. Director or Planning Development Coordinator Malcolm, this is just permission to hang the sign on the building. Mr. Hadley will still have to go ahead and get a permit once this is issued.
Yeah, so he did submit his application, but before I can issue him the permit, it has to be approved by you lovely folks.
Been called that. Councilor Corrigan.
Thank you, worship. Just curious, what is the sign for?
I believe he is selling like comic books or cards or.
It's my understanding that Mr. Hadley's here, and he'd be happy to answer that question personally.
Perfect.
Awesome. Please do.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Mark Hadley. Hello, good evening. My name is Mark Hadley. I'm here tonight to respectfully request approval to place a signage on my business I'm renting, which has been designated as a municipal heritage property, which is the old City Hall. My business, Prairie Canucks Cards and Collectibles, is preparing to open to the public. Visible signage is essential to customers to locate and support the store. I would like to emphasize that this request is not for permanent altercation to the building. The signage will be installed in a reversible manner with no damage to or removal of heritage features. Example, into the mortar joints that can be easily patched and repaired after the sign is taken down for any reason. I also note that this building has had business signage in the past up until approximately 2010 when it was a realtor's office. I have historical photographs available which clearly show signage previously on the location. The proposed signage will be modest, professional, and in keeping with the historic character of the building. My intention is to respect the heritage designation with ensuring the visibility of new small businesses in Weyburn downtown. Clear and visible signage is critical to attract customers, create foot traffic, and support revitalization of this important commercial area. I respectfully ask Council to grant permission for my business to place signage on the exterior of this building. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I do have a couple photos of the old
could pass them
signage,
around, sure.
and then the new signage that will be going on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else questions or comments? Councillor Higgs?
I would only assume that you've cleared it with the ownership of the building.
Yes, it has been, yes.
So that's it. Thank you for your care of the building because it is important to our downtown core. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, Councillor Sedlowski.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hadley, for coming down and speaking to us tonight. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if there's nothing else, I'll just hold on to these while I call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. And good luck, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is going to look great. Okay. Coordinator Malcolm, we're not quite done with you yet. There's one more. This is another sign application. These are billboards, I think, but we'll let you walk us through this one.
All right, so an application has been received from the Upper Source Watershed Association for the construction of a billboard at 2 locations along Highway 39. The signs will be standard, non-LED, single-sided billboards facing the highway eastward and westward. All height, size, and setback standards are met with no negative off-site impacts expected. And these are just the 2 locations, the proposed locations from them. If you want to scroll down, Matthew. So one would be closer to Walmart's side, and one would be closer to 16th. All right. The submitted application from the Upper Source Watershed Association is for the placement of 2 standard non-LED billboards along Highway 39 and will be about 2.4 meters high and 3.6 meters in width and has a surface area of 8.9 square meters or about 96 square feet. Zoning bylaw 2020-3412 outlines that billboards on city-controlled properties require approval from City Council prior to the issuance of a sign permit. They must have a maximum height of 3.048 meters, which is about 10 feet, and length of 6.096 meters, which is about 20 feet, with a maximum surface area of 18.58 square meters, or 200 square feet per face. The intended billboard falls below the minimum zoning requirements for the size. Option 1, Council approves the application 2025.004 for the placement of 2 billboards along Highway 39 without further conditions. Option 2, Council approves the application 2025.004 for the placement of 2 billboards along Highway 39 with the following conditions. The minimum setback from the highway center line should be 22 meters or 72 feet. The minimum distance between any 2 signs is 91 meters or 300 feet. No portion of a billboard shall be located within 23 meters of an intersection of streets as determined by the development officer. There is to be no direct illumination that impedes vehicular traffic or interferes with traffic signals. And then option 3, Council directs the development officer to refuse the billboard application 2025.004 for the following reasons. The officer making the motion for refusal shall provide reasons for the permit's refusal in their motion. So staff recommendation, staff are recommending option 2, as although the billboard will be constructed on city-controlled properties, it will be adhering to the height restrictions. There are additional clearance requirements according to the zoning bylaw that the application must follow. The applicant must follow, sorry.
Thank you. I also have got first day of fall blues, and I think that's what I'm going to attribute it all to. Can I get a motion, please, for this?
Your Worship, I move that Council approve application 2025.004 for the placement of 2 billboards along Highway 35, subject to the conditions as listed.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay, any questions on this one?
Or, yes, Councillor Corrigan.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just curious, the one by Walmart I have no concerns with whatsoever. It's the one at 16th with its positioning. Will it, I mean, I think we need to be very careful with that one because it's a very busy intersection that it not obstruct views for people who are turning left, especially with oncoming traffic. Those considerations, I'm sure have been taken into account, but with the minimums that I'm looking at as far as setback and that sort of thing, if we went with the minimums, it could be an issue.
Well, if we went with the minimum setbacks, there might not be an issue, especially with the size of the sign itself.
Okay.
It's significantly smaller than the ones that are already there.
Okay.
So even with the 72-meter setback, it should not be, we don't see it interfering with any sight for any vehicles coming along the highway or off 16th.
Okay.
Yeah.
as long as those considerations have been made.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, considering how busy that intersection can be.
Yeah,
We don't want to create any problems that we don't need to. Thank you.
Thanks, good question. Anybody else? Nothing else on this one? And we'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, that is the end of new business. We will move on to inquiries and announcements. Council? Anything? Nothing? How about administration? Oh, Director of Engineering Cugnett, have you got an announcement?
Yeah, I do. I didn't talk enough. No, I just wanted to announce the grand reopening of King Street and Highway 35. It is going to be open as of Wednesday morning, this Wednesday, the 24th. And I just want to say thanks to the community for their patience during the construction, and as well as to the province of Saskatchewan for the continued partnership and funding to make these projects possible for us.
Yes, agreed. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll thank the community for their patience as well as we work through this, but I hear it's pretty smooth. Yeah. Administration, anybody else? Inquiries and announcements? Hearing none? Nothing? Okay. We will open the floor then if there are inquiries and announcements from the floor. If you've got an inquiry, approach the microphone, your name and the topic you'd like to discuss, or question, I suppose I should say.
Thank you, Council, for allowing me to speak tonight, or ask questions, I should say. My name is Randy Schiller, and I'm speaking on the bylaw 2025-3501.
Which is the
ethics bylaw.
So I'll stop just for clarity, and I know you and I talked about this earlier, Mr. Schiller. Generally speaking, Council, during inquiries and announcements, sort of free rein to ask questions. Individuals from the public, and I'll just read it right out of the bylaw so that I make sure I get it right, can be asked during the allotted agenda time on any items discussed or decisions made during the current council meeting. So, and I understand there was a bit of some miscommunication between the last council meeting, this council meeting. So we're kind of going to give you a bit of leeway because this should have probably happened last, and that's okay. Yeah. But we're happy to hear your questions, and hopefully we can get you some answers tonight. Sometimes we need to get back to you with some of the answers.
Thank you again for allowing me to ask the questions. So respectfully, I ask, has bylaw 2016-33-43 been repealed?
Yes, it's been repealed.
Okay, when was that?
When the 2025, when the new bylaw got put in place, it was repealed.
Do you have a date?
September 8th.
Okay.
After third reading, yep.
Did we actually have a third reading? Because my understanding was only a second reading at
No,
September 8th.
second and third reading at that meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Who determined this contravention and when?
Can you clarify what
the contravention for the why the repeal for 2016?
So after legal counsel and some other things that had came up with whatever, we had reached out to our legal team, and they had advised that that we couldn't use that bylaw anymore because when you do a council code of ethics, you have to follow the Cities Act, which is the model code of ethics bylaw. So then they told us that, or they suggested that we adopt our own council code of ethics bylaw, which is section 66(1) of the Cities Act.
Okay. Okay.
If I could just continue that answer for just a split second. We also really do empower our city clerk to seek out ways to improve our governance structures. And through conversations, that is what got us to that point. And that didn't just happen, at the start of September. That's months of work between, the city clerk, council, city manager, and our legal team, right? So it's not something that we just, I would say, just introduced, although that was when the final reading was September 8th. I hope that helps understand how we got to there.
It's somewhat.
Okay.
I do commend the city for having an ethics bylaw. So, what is the city's interpretation for a prescribed model code of ethics?
So the government of Saskatchewan has a prescribed model code of ethics. So that's what they list on their website. and they want us to follow that. So when we created this bylaw, we based it off of that.
Okay, because, okay. I gather you're the one that drafted the
Yep,
bylaw?
yep.
Okay, okay. Why does the bylaw not only address the basic of ethics and not taking a leading position and going further into the, because in my opinion, it doesn't fully address conflicts of interest.
Well, in my opinion, it does fully address the conflict of interest. So item 2G of the new bylaw talks about responsibility of council members. So it also states right there that every member of council is individually responsible for preventing potential and actual conflicts of interest, in addition to the prescribed conflicts of interest set out in Section 115 of the Cities Act. And then it does list specific conflicts of interest, what that would include. Council also, when they're sworn in, they sign an oath which states that they will declare a conflict of interest if it arises. So council, within being voted in, they sign a public disclosure form, and that lists all their conflicts. And this is actually, it is available to public. They can come in, any member of the public can come in and look at their public disclosure form. And then every year they have to update this form as well. Anytime something changes in their public disclosure, they have 30 days to come in and notify me if something does change.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have about, I'm just going to pause it. We've got about 1 minute left in the 5 minutes. I've stopped the timer. Well, I thought I had, sorry, but I'll add a little bit more to it. And I would say this, and I think our clerk has been a leader in the cities across Saskatchewan. In fact, I would say this, our current policy is likely one that'll be used as a model for other communities. So although it might appear that it's it's actually quite advanced, I would say, if I'm articulating that properly.
Yes, I've spoke to other city clerks. I've looked at other municipalities across the province. And there's a lot of other municipalities who are looking to update their council code of ethics, and they're looking at ours, so.
Okay, because I would respectfully disagree that it's comprehensive. After reading the Cities Act and reading the bylaw, it does not go far enough, because I'm seeing problems with it myself.
Yep, this is what our legal team advised us of. We submitted a draft to them, and they gave us some extra points, and yeah, it's about as transparent as can be, in our opinion.
Because my understanding with when you read some of the bylaws for the city, we could be amending that bylaw to even go in further and be further leaders and have more for all cities to reflect on.
That's a fair statement. We could probably, I think with any bylaw, there's always, we could keep going on it, but we're very comfortable with this one.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's very weak, and I don't have the time to address all the, to address that. Lastly, since my time is running out, how many other complaints have there been to warrant the $100 fee for complaint, conflict of interest complaints?
To date, only one complaint has been filed under the previous and current council.
Okay. What's the rationale for the $100 fee?
So the fee is intended to discourage frivolous or politically motivated complaints. It's not to deter legitimate concerns.
So the reason for that really, and I don't think that's a secret, it is exactly that, is to deter the frivolous accusations. And it is my understanding that if it is deemed to be valid, that $100 fee is refundable. Is that correct?
Yeah, so if a complaint is substantiated, the fee is refunded. If the complaint is unsubstantiated but made in good faith, council has discretion to refund the fee. Yeah. But if it's deemed frivolous or vexatious, the fee is retained.
There you go. So it is not meant to deter, and in fact, it's the exact opposite. It's to make sure that we spend the time on the ones that are non-vexatious, I guess would be the word that we would use. Yeah, so I hope that we've been able to provide you some insight. The 5 minutes is long up, and that's okay, but we just want to make sure that we're being as transparent as we can be, and I think we are. We feel like we are.
Okay, all I can suggest is go a little bit further and make some amendments, further amendments to the ethics policy, okay, especially concerning the conflicts of interest.
Sure. Thank you for that.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mr.
Schiller. Very good. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Okay, hearing none, then I guess we'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody. We'll take 10 minutes.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today